Alone in the middle of the Atlantic, with nothing but an inflatable raft and the overwhelming weight of the ocean, Stephen Callahan was left with one choice: survive. Imagine being lost at sea, alone, for 76 days. No rescue, no help. The sun scorching your skin, the cold freezing your bones, the endless, haunting silence, broken only by the waves crashing against your raft. This is the story of how one man survived the impossible. Stephen Callahan had set off on a solo voyage across the Atlantic, ready to embrace the adventure. But he never expected the nightmare that awaited him. Just 7 days into his journey, the unthinkable happened. In the dead of night, a deafening crack shattered the peace. His boat, the Napoleon Solo, had struck something, likely debris, or maybe a whale, puncturing the hull. The boat was sinking fast. In a panic, Stephen scrambled to grab his gear, throwing anything he could into his life raft. Flare guns, a spear, a solar still for drinking water. Everything he might need to survive. Seconds later, his sailboat was gone, sinking beneath the ocean's dark waves. The world around him went silent. The Atlantic was now his enemy, and the tiny raft was his only hope. Alone, completely alone, the sun beat down relentlessly, burning his skin, while the nights were filled with biting cold. Days stretched into an eternity. His body weakened. His strength was fading. Every wave that crashed against the raft felt like it could be the last. What did he have left? His food? Barely any. His water? A slow trickle of drops from a makeshift solar still. Nothing was enough. Sharks circled the raft, their dark fins slicing through the water, sending waves of fear through Stephen's already fragile mind. He had to defend himself using the spear, but they came back. Every bump against the raft felt like a death sentence waiting to happen. His mind, too, began to slip. The isolation took its toll. Every night, he heard whispers in the wind, faces in the waves. Was that a ship? A shadow in the distance? No, just the ocean playing tricks on him. The quiet and endless expanse became a prison. But Stephen wasn't ready to die. He fought on. He refused to give up. For 70 days, he hung on, despite the hunger, the thirst, the exhaustion. He had no choice but to trust in his will to survive. Then, on day 70, as his raft began to disintegrate and his body grew weaker by the minute, something incredible happened. A speck on the horizon. A boat. A real boat. For the first time in days, Stephen's heart pounded with hope. Could this be it? Was he about to be saved? But as he waved his arms, fired flares, and flashed his mirror in the sun, the boat didn't stop. It kept moving. His heart sank. The boat was leaving him behind. It was disappearing into the vast ocean, and with it, his last chance at survival. Was this really the end? No. But the boat didn't stop. Summoning every last ounce of energy, Stephen grabbed his emergency whistle and blew with everything he had left. A shrill, desperate sound sliced through the stillness. He blew again, and again, his heart racing, his hands shaking. Then it turned. The boat came back. With everything he had left, he waved, screamed, and flashed his mirror once more, desperate to be seen. And it worked. The fishermen saw him. They pulled him aboard, his body wasted, his skin burned, his bones barely covered by skin. But he was alive. After 76 days adrift at sea, Stephen Callahan had survived. He had fought nature itself, battling the brutal sun, sharks, dehydration, and the crushing weight of isolation. The ocean had thrown everything it could at him. But Stephen fought harder, using every ounce of his spirit to hold on. His story is more than survival. It's a testament to the unbreakable will of the human spirit. In the face of certain death, he chose life. Could you endure what he did? Subscribe if you enjoyed and don't forget to leave a like.